Bradford City have today confirmed their fifth departure of the 2026 January transfer window, and that is in the way of Lewis Richards as he joins League 2 side Crawley Town for an undisclosed fee. If you do go on to enjoy today's video, please make sure to drop a like on there for me and subscribe to the channel as well. If you are new, can we try and hit 200 likes on today's video? And don't forget to get your thoughts in down in the comment section down below on today's departure. Bit of a sad one, but certainly very understandable. Let's waste no further time and get straight into it. Now, I may have not been the first person to break the news of potential interest regarding Crawley Town and Lewis Richards, but I was certainly the first to report that it was a done deal. So again, the tier 3 channel memberships is the best place to be for all the exclusive and earliest Bradford City transfer news. There is also a confirmation of our next signing, which will be a striker, so if you're interested, make sure to head over there. But Bradford City's article does then read, Richards in Crawley switch. Lewis Richards has completed a permanent move to Sky Bet League 2 side Crawley Town for an undisclosed fee. The wing-back, who spent 2.5 seasons in West Yorkshire, now heads to Broadfield Stadium to join Scott Lindsay's side. During his time with City, Richards represented the club 64 times, scoring 3 goals and assisting his teammates on 6 occasions. Richards was an important part of last season's success, making 22 appearances in Sky Bet League 2, helping the Bantam secure automatic promotion. Everyone at Bradford City AFC would like to thank Lewis for his services and wish him the very best for the future. So pretty short and sweet, as you would expect, really. This is not an Andy Cook, this is not a Brad Halliday, but he's still been a decent servant to Bradford City over the last 2.5 years. In terms of what Crawley had to say, they say Lewis Richards signs from Bradford City. Crawley Town Football Club is delighted to announce the signing of fullback Lewis Richards from League 1 side Bradford City for an undisclosed fee. Richards joins the club on an 18-month contract, and again we go back to Graham Alexander's pre-match. In his press conference that he did ahead of the Cardiff City game, he said that a big reason why pretty much all the players that have left Bradford City so far, especially Alex Patterson, but he also mentioned Brad Halliday and Andy Cook, that they are all out of a contract with the football club in the summer, and the same can be said about Lewis Richards. And obviously we have a policy which even now I still don't 100% agree with, that we leave it until the end of the campaign before offering players new contracts. I have a really bad feeling that we could see somebody like an Anthony Sarcevic move on in the summer, regardless of what division that we are in, because we've waited a little bit too long and maybe other people have got better offers in, and certainly earlier. But again, it's more security for Lewis Richards, which given his injury record is certainly something that he does need. But the article continues to read, born in Liverpool, Richards began his career at the Brentford Academy before joining Wolverhampton Wanderers following its closure in 2016. He joined Harrogate Town on loan in January 2022, making his debut later that month, and returned for a second loan spell in July 2022 before returning to his parent club in January 2023. Richards signed for Bradford City in August 2023 on a 2-year contract, making his debut the following day. I think that was Morecambe away when we lost 3-0. Michael Mellon brace in that one, and obviously Derek Adams got one over us on that day. The fullback enjoyed a prosperous end to the 2024-25 season as he and his Bradford City side secured promotion to the 3rd tier on the final day of the season in dramatic fashion. Richards made over 30 appearances during that campaign, which earned him a new contract at Valley Parade. Lewis has now completed his move to West Sussex, and he continues to search for more regular first team minutes. Now, I think there's certainly no doubting that Lewis Richards is a very good player. He's clearly got the ability, and if unfortunately he didn't have these injury problems, I certainly think he would have played a lot more in the league this campaign. But I think his only league contributions have been he's been named on the bench twice and hasn't been brought on. He's not played a single second of league football so far this campaign, and part of that can be down to injuries. Part of that can also be down to, because of those injuries, he's not been able to build some consistency and get into the side over Ibu Toure, who's arguably been Bradford City's most consistent player so far this campaign, and even Tyreek Wright, who certainly seems to have upped the level and got much better as Bradford City have progressed up the division. But it's a shame about Lewis Richards. I always really liked him, especially last campaign. I thought we saw him really thrive and develop, but obviously didn't play from around the mid of February until the end of the campaign because he picked up, I think, another shoulder injury or maybe another hamstring injury. They are 2 reoccurring injuries, unfortunately, for Richards. If it's not hamstring, then it's shoulder. He's obviously dislocated it a couple of times, and the hamstring has gone a fair few times as well. Most recently, it went away at Bolton in the EFL Trophy at the beginning of December. I think over the last week or 2, he's come back into contention, same as Matt Pennington. They came back at around a similar time. So I can certainly understand why Bradford City City, if we're being ruthless and getting rid of the likes of Andy Cook and Alex Patterson, even Brad Halliday, then it does make sense to get somebody as injury prone as Lewis Richards off of the wage bill. And I really hope that he goes to Crawley and he can remain injury free, because he's still only 24 years of age. There's lots of room for growth and development. I hope we've got a sell-on clause in there. I think if you can keep him fit, this is an outstanding signing for Crawley, and he'll be one of the best wing-backs in that division. Absolutely no doubt about it. I think he's certainly going to suit Scott Lindsay's attacking style of play. He can certainly get forward, chipping with a couple of goals. He got a few last season for Bradford City with 2 really good finishes. Can also provide some assists as well. So I do think this is a really good signing for Crawley if they can keep him fit. Unfortunately, despite playing over 60 times in 2.5 years, that's obviously nowhere near enough when you're available for only half a season really, and even then obviously he is quite far down the pecking order at this moment in time. Obviously he hasn't played a single second of league football so far this campaign, and it feels a little bit pointless reviewing his 187 minutes in the EFL Trophy so far this campaign. So we'll have a look at last season then in League 2 for Lewis Richards. Like I say, his last appearance coming on the 25th of February, where I think he did his hamstring in that one away at Wimbledon. He did his shoulder as well, I think, on that day. So he has just had a real horrible run of form with injuries. But you look at the run that we've been on prior to that, he was part of a team that did very well. Obviously, we then brought in Teo Adaramola, and the rest is really history with that one. But last campaign, he played at 22 times, only managed 17 starts though last campaign, and just 1,500 minutes played. He did manage 2 goals with a 20% goal conversion rate, and averaged a goal every 754 minutes, which for a wing back is pretty decent for the numbers, and also registered a single assist. Can't remember off the top of my head who that assist was against. He created 2 big chances, had a 74% accurate pass rate, which is pretty solid for our style of play, and a 23% accurate cross rate, again pretty decent. Defensively, pretty solid as well, I would say. 0.7 interceptions per game, 1.3 tackles per game, 3.7 balls recovered per game, and 2.2 clearances per game as well. No errors which led to a shot or a goal, and no penalty offences committed either. He did pick up 6 bookings in that time. And you look at his duel stats, wins over 50% of his ground and aerial duels, and has a 36% successful dribble rate as well. So you look at what Lewis Richards can do at League 2 level. I think this is a really, really good signing for Crawley. I just really hope for his sake he can remain injury free between now and the end of the season, and then go and try and kick on in the summer and really get some regular first team football under his belt, because I think he's certainly got the ability to play at least League 1 level, but injuries could potentially hold him back for having a really successful career. If we have a look then at how Bradford City's squad is now lining up for the 2025-26 campaign, if you look at face value, you'd probably think, well, Bradford City clearly desperately need a left wing back, because Ibu Toure, who's the only named natural left wing back, has largely played as a left centre back so far this campaign for Bradford City. But as we know, Tyreek Wright can certainly do a job in that position, and both our right wing backs in Josh Nerfel has got a lot of experience on the left side with Wimbledon towards the end of last campaign, and Harrison Ashby has done it at the division above as well in the Championship. So we've certainly got enough cover in there. I felt like Tom McIntyre was a player who could play there, but obviously he has also now moved on from Bradford City. So we've had 5 outgoings so far, 3 incomings. Obviously we do expect Ethan Wheatley to be coming in as the new striker addition, but even after that I think there will definitely be one centre back coming through the door. I'd like another holding midfielder as well, and even on top of Wheatley, if Kavanagh's loaned out, then I wouldn't be against bringing in a real marquee signing at the top end of the pitch, because I do think we are a little bit light in that position. But in terms of numbers, if you bring Wheatley in, then there's no need to carry 5 strikers when you only play 1 up top. But I'm also not against a right attacking midfielder if George Lapsley does move on. A lot of our incomings also do depend on outgoings, but like I say, with Lewis Richards moving on, it's very sad, but obviously it doesn't really damage us too much in terms of an availability point of view, because Ibu Toure hasn't picked up a single injury so far this campaign and has played a lot of football over the last couple of years. He's been very reliable for obviously us so far, Stockport and even Salford City before that, and we've got enough cover to play in that position. So again, I don't think wing back is a priority for Bradford City to go out and need to improve, but let me know your thoughts on that down below. But anyway, I'm going to leave it there then for today's video. If you have enjoyed, please make sure to drop a like on there for me, and subscribe to the channel as well if you are new. Can we try and hit 200 likes, as I said at the start of today's video? And don't forget to get your thoughts in down in the comment section down below. What are your thoughts on Crawley Town signing Bradford City left wing back Lewis Richards for an undisclosed fee on an 18-month contract? Wish him nothing but the best. Again, played a key part in our promotion last campaign. Without his goals and overall contributions, especially that throw-in away at Colchester, obviously Bradford City don't go on and get promoted. So I wish him all the best. Hope hopefully he can stay injury free, because I think he's a very, very good player in Lewis Richards. But thank you all for watching, have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you very soon for another one.